Okey-doke. Hi, everyone. This is Sue and I'm Fiona. So we're just going to talk about a bit about what we do, really. So do you want to go ahead, Sue? Oh, why isn't it? It's not moving, my PowerPoint.
Just one moment.
Are you just on a laptop, ladies, or have you got a
Yeah,
screen
but
in front of you?
Normally I just like click on it and it, oh, there we go.
Okay, so we went into the supported living sector March last year, right at the very beginning of COVID, simply because our hearts are a little bit of delivering support and wanting to see a change. We could see what had happened in the sector, and we could see that there was not much support being delivered to tenants. The properties wasn't up to spec. And we just wanted to go in and really make a little bit of a difference. We knew that we couldn't change everybody's lives, but if we just done it one tenant in every property, we would be happy with that. So we, like I said, we started in March last year. We took our first property on in June, once we got most of our systems into place. And then we piloted our first property from June to October to make sure that the support that we were going to be delivered to the tenants was going to be robust. Then in October, we went a little bit crazy, didn't we?
Yeah, so we onboarded, was it 4 in one go?
Yeah, we onboarded 4 properties in one go. That took us then from 3 tenants to 10, 13, 21 tenants. And then it was just, we just went really slow, made sure our support plans were all up to spec, watched what was going on in the sector, knew that there was lots changing in the area. Just really concentrated on the support delivered to the tenants, because ultimately you want to see it, you want to see the right outcome for them.
And we really listened to the service users, didn't we?
Yeah.
Like, so there was a lot of the consistency of, we've been in supported living for 18 months and we've never had one support session. So we was consistently hearing that a support session was strange to them, even though they'd been in this place, and like the state of the houses, like they were living in houses like with no locks on the doors and holes in the floor and stuff like that. We'd had photographic evidence of that, and just like really putting a really strong support in their lives, really. And from the get-go, because they have made that transition from having nothing at all to coming under our wing of having been, you know, supported properly, we saw change from day one, which has been amazing. Yeah, carry on, my lovely.
Yeah, so we've currently got around 50 tenants at the moment. We've gone, not every story's been a success. So we've had some that we've had to let go because their support needs are more than we can offer. Because we're in minimal support, it's 1 to 3 hours. So because we're under an RSL, which is then regulated by the council and the RSH, all of our audit files have to be sent to the RSL, that then get sent to the council. These tenants are on exempt rent. So if you go over the allocated minimal 3 hours, we're then told we actually are doing too much. And it's then finding a service for them to move on to. So we've had to do that, what, for 2 tenants, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's something that, it's 2 or 3 tenants, and it's something that they're really honing in on. So if they see that you, like, you know, doing half an hour over, they'll just say immediately they're not suited and to your like housing establishment. And also BCC are really honing on the audits to just show that you are providing that minimal support, really, but also that the person's life is changed at the same time. So we've just got like really good connections, like with Trident and different organisations, and talking to like our tenants CPNs and stuff like that, working with social workers, just to be able to make sure that that person is getting the right support. So as well, we will never accept someone, something that's very regular in the industry, unfortunately, is that people will just like get anyone into a room just to fill a void, really. And we love the fact that we vet our tenants to make sure that we can give them the support that they need, so that they can have a great potential and great productive outcome for their life to go on to that next chapter. Yeah, so we just make sure that we keep into that 1 to 3 hours. really, and that it's good for them. And if it's not, we just make sure that they're going to the right place to get the support that they need for their lives, really. Carry on, my lovely. Do you want to talk about the team? You what, don't?
No, you don't.
Yeah, so we've got a team of 7 at the moment. So it's me and Sue, we're the directors. We've got a manager in place, our support manager, H. He's great. He's been with the team about 6-7 months now. Yeah, maybe a bit longer. And then we've got a group of support workers and an administrator as well. And, you know, just as we are in, you know, for our business, we're very family orientated. We want to make sure that we work with like 4 to 5 bedrooms. We have got 1 7-bedroom property, which you find that it's a bit more fragmented in regards to connections, and it's harder for the tenants sometimes to connect because there's so many people in the house. So we work with like 4 to 5 bedrooms and 4 tenants in the house, so that they have that like family feel. And we just apply the same to our office, really. And thankfully, all the teams say that they enjoy coming to work from us, because we're a bit crazy as well and we just have a laugh. So that's with our team, and they're growing, and you know, they're growing as people as well for their future, and they really enjoy supporting the tenants and really getting their teeth into, we're really getting that, talking to our support workers about, you know, what is out there, listen to your tenant, what is it that they need, what life skills. So that could be anything from cleaning the house to a person desires to be a forklift truck driver, which we've got some great connections for courses. Sue got an excellent contact. So a lot of our tenants have been going on courses, if that be regarding labouring, also, you know, health and social care and stuff. So, you know, them being in supported living is inspiring them to go forward and help other people, which is exactly what we want to happen. And just a little bit about our background. Sue's got a health and social care background, and I've got a counselling psychology background, and we've basically put our compassion and our care and our empathy with property, and that's how we formed Promised Identity. And it is what it says on the team. We promise to help you. We promise to help you get your identity back. So what we've achieved so far. Go for it, babe.
Yeah, so we've had tenants that have come from us with mental health issues, self-harming. They've gone through the system as a child, then they've gone through the prison system, and they've been missed. And a lot of the reason why they've been missed is because they've never had sustainable, constant support. So one of our tenants, she came to us the 11th of June last year. She came into our first social housing property. She'd started going through the system at the age of 11 into foster care and different foster homes because she was unmanageable with her mental health and self-harming. We worked with her CPN, we worked from her support plan, and by November of last year, she'd stopped self-harming. So from last year, November, up until today, she's not self-harmed, she's not overdosed, she's been discharged from her CPN. We've actually given our first property that we took on as social housing to her to become her family home, because we've seen such amazing progress. And for the first time since the age of 11, have stability. And that was really important for us. So yes, we lost a property where we wasn't going to deliver support to, but we actually gave her a home, which she's not had. And
she's starting her own family now. She's expecting a child.
Yeah, so yeah, she's expecting a baby that's due in April. We've moved tenants on. So we've had 3 into university, 1 doing a history degree, and then 1 doing a business one. I can't remember what the other one was. And then we've also had tenants that have gone on to courses by connections that we've made. We've made a connection with a residential college as well, which will take people in, which makes them aware of mental health issues, how to manage their mental health, how to manage their emotions. We've had tenants that have gone on to a forklift truck, CSCS cards. Some of them have come to us and they've not even got maths and English foundation skills, and they're walking away now with functional skills level 2 in maths and English, just because they've got this mindset of, I don't like learning. And we actually break it down to them. We're like, you know, don't look at it like it's 3 months, look at it like it's only 1 day a week and it's for 4 hours, and just take it week by week. We've got some some tenants that have taken part in volunteering in parks, and rebuilding relationships with families where there's been family breakdowns because they've been seen as black sheeps of the family and that they're not actually changing, whereas now they're starting to make this change because of the consistent support that they're having and how we're addressing, they may need counselling, lots of different things, alcohol abuse, where we've referred them on to CGL, which gives them that support there, which we don't specialise in. We do a little bit of, we do some sessions outside as well, don't we, of normal support, where, Fee will deliver, it's like a therapy session, isn't it? A bit of counselling.
It's counselling, So it's just basically using it's like, centered, person-centered therapy and counselling, using open-ended questions in regards to what they've been through. One guy in particular that we've worked for, one of our tenants, he's literally within a matter of weeks, hasn't it? And a couple of months, he's totally changed his life around. He went through a lot as a young person. A lot of adults a lot of adults around him growing up that wasn't taking responsibility and accountability for any actions, and he suffered a lot of that and a lot of trauma as a child, and had massive anger management issues. So now he's got to the point where his self-awareness and his self-care has really been activated, and that's made him to be kinder to himself, think differently towards himself. And because of that, then because of the transition and the transformation inside, that's then bit like flowed out of his life to other people. So he's more patient, he's more compassionate, and he's even coming to us now and saying, you know what, Fee, Sue, like, I can see myself reacting this way, I can see myself feeling this way, but I don't want to feel that way anymore. How is it that I make that next step? I've changed to make sure that I'm consistent and maintaining my emotions. So, that's just a few of our success stories, which it's just been absolutely amazing. I think there's just one more. Where are we going? You go ahead, babe.
So we are aiming to get to 100 tenants. If we get there, we get there. If we don't, we don't. We're quite happy with what we've got, because the next step for us is to work direct with Birmingham City Council. We've already had numerous meetings and we know that they're willing to work with us on a standalone service. So we're going to, in the next few months, become a CIC, which allows us to work directly with the council, cutting out any RSL, which protects us and the tenant with the amount of RSLs that are under investigation. Us as providers feel what they're under, whether that be they've messed up on housing benefit claims, they're not requesting audit forms or support packs, whether they've not come and done a property check. By cutting out the RSL and working directly with the council, we know that we're offering our tenants something more safer and secure, and it's going to be sustainable long term, as well as working with our tenants, our landlords, and saying to the landlords, look, we're now working direct with Birmingham City Council, because a lot of landlords who you now talk to are saying, isn't there lots of trouble? All of the RSLs are under investigation, and there is never going to be no getting away from that.
I think that's it. Like, if there's any questions, I don't know if you want us to do that now or another time, or
I think there's going to be a lot of questions in your breakout room. That was phenomenal. That really was phenomenal. We need to grab a coffee, because I'm in Stourbridge.
I'm in Wolverhampton.
An amazing presentation. Thank you.
See why I love them, Bryn. Ladies, you didn't mention your horse therapy, which is incredible as well, Taylor. Went out and went above and beyond and actually got horse therapy for a tenant. That's absolutely incredible, because that would help them to kind of get on in life.
Wow.
We're amazing.
It's a lot to contain, in a short space of time.
What's horse therapy?
So a lot of tenants, or a lot of people that have mental health issues or anxiety issues, actually end up relating to animals, and horse therapy is a big thing. So literally it will be going and mucking out a stable, it will be grooming a horse, because they can have this relationship with an animal. I don't know how it works, I don't know what the connection is, but it's good. And
it calms them.
Calms them. Yeah.
Another thing we've done as well is like crafts and stuff as well. So we got a lot of our, well, not a lot, like a few of our tenants into crafts and colouring and stuff like that, and making things. And like with ADHD, like, you know, hard to concentrate, we found that they're doing crafts and just literally buying them, just like a little craft set. And it just made them focus and just really calm them down. And it just made their thinking more focused, more balanced and more productive for the day. And, you know, it's just those little things. And just to see them smile and be a bit lighter, yeah, it's all worth it.
You've got some absolutely fab comments in the sidebar, ladies, and they're all saying how amazing you are. I agree. This is the standard that I'll sign providers off at, by the way. So now you kind of know the providers that Auxilium will work with, and you know this is where it should be. This is the bar. This is how people should be. You're amazing.
Somebody asked whether we were CQC registered. So touching base on that, we're not CQC registered, but we've actually had a discussion about taking extra care packages from Birmingham City Council. So a tenant that will say to you, the RSL will say to you, you can only deliver 3 hours because that's all we're catered to deliver. That's all we're allowing you to deliver for. But we've been in discussions the last couple of weeks, and we've actually found out we can take a tenant that comes with a care package, which has been passed by their social worker. So as opposed to them just having their 3 hour, up to 3 hours that they can have with us, they can then additionally have a care package put into place by their social worker. So we can cater for that care package by giving them that extra support, depending on what they need, depending on what level you go up to, because there's a very thin line with being CQC registered and not. And an example of this was actually spoke to us yesterday about, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it was a case of, by prompting somebody to have and take their tablets, by handing them their blister pack, you don't need to be CQC registered because you're prompting them. But by piercing the blister pack, that's when you need to be CQC registered. So we're going to look further actually into taking more tenants on with the extra support in place, because we know that it's commissioned by the council, and that we will be catering, we'll be able to cater for that.
Thank you.
That's really interesting. Again, my fiance is a level 5 CQC dementia care manager, so I'm going to drag her along to have a coffee with you as well, because I think you guys would find each other really quite fascinating. Obviously, the personal care aspect, it's where CQC becomes involved. I think she probably add a lot of value to our coffee. So let's not forget that, guys. Let's hook up in the next week or so.
Definitely.
Can I give a little just 2-second story about an experience I had with Sue one day on a viewing? I think it's quite important. Quite often what we get asked a lot by landlords is what happens with the neighbours. Now, we were doing a viewing at a property in Birmingham. We're actually going to hand over on Wednesday. And the owner's sister lived a few doors up, who was clearly worried about this kind of tenant profile going into the house. So what Sue did, she just got the owner of the house, walked down to the sister's house and had a 20-25-minute chat with her, explained to her exactly how they work, exactly who they are, exactly who the tenant profile was, exactly why they're there and why they're looking after them, gave her any details she needed for contact. And by the end of that, the sister was fine. She fully understood exactly how promise identity work, exactly who they are, why they're doing what they're doing. And there wasn't an issue. And we're handing that house over Wednesday. But that sister had a huge amount of concerns about what she's read on the internet, what she's heard about, you know, who's being in the house and the streets going to hell and everything else. But simply isn't the case if you have the right people looking after the tenants and of the tenants' welfare in the best interest. I didn't actually listen to the conversation. There's too many people standing around. I just let Sue and the owner go and walk up to it. So I don't know exactly what Sue said to her, but they came back and everything was rosy. So it's about having the right people and working with the right providers in the space, and it works brilliantly.
Yeah, that's something that we're really passionate about, actually, in regards to neighbours and stuff. We've had, like, you know, you remember, like, with Rockford Road, and we had that, we've had a lot of disturbance, and it was just a matter of knocking on the door and talking to them, and, you know, there was a little bit of fear in them, and it was just like giving some understanding and letting them have a contact number to call. And, you know, unfortunately, with supported living, there is a lot of people that just, you know, some landlords just don't care about the surrounding people there. And if they've got, you know, that place to the real people to call, it gives them a lot of peace. And we found it, like, working with the police as well. you know, they've said they've never, ever been able to talk to a landlord direct. They've never been able to go into a house, see on the notice board that there's an emergency line or the directors that they can contact. They've never been able to do it until they've seen our details at a promised identity house. So that was really encouraging us. So we just, you know, we just want to, we've set our standards, and we just want to keep growing and being the best that we possibly can, and just keep learning, really.
Yeah,
I also, sorry to interrupt, but I also think it's really important for you guys to talk a little bit about tenant matching and why that's so important, and why you would leave a void rather than just stick somebody in a property, which is what a lot of providers do. And that's what I love about you girls as well. You don't just stick anybody together, you tenant match every single person through their support plans. And I think that's incredible.
It's really, really important that
Absolutely.
every property that we have is tenant matched. And the reason for it being is, how can you possibly put a 60-year-old in with a 22-year-old drug addict? It's not going to work. It's a disaster waiting to happen. So for us, we'd rather just leave a room empty
To the right
person comes along, because it's not about money. It's about, you know, making a change. Our tenants are tenants, and they're people, and they're not products. It's just really, really important that we try and get it right as much as we possibly can. We don't always get it right, but we try our damned hardest.
Yeah, but also as well, like from a business perspective as well, it gives us stability in the business, because then we don't have a high turnover with the tenants, which is a really regular thing. You can, like, you hear a lot of providers saying, "Oh, people just move in, move out." But if you match it right, then the people are more likely to stay longer with you and then engage in support, which then changes their life. So, you know, it's a progressive thing, which is healthy for all parties, really.
Yeah, we offer a 360 solution as well. So some of our tenants that have gone out and got jobs, we've got a portfolio of working professional HMOs. So we've got various rooms. We've got around 60 rooms between us, isn't it? Yeah, it's about 60 rooms.
Yeah.
Between us in our working professional HMOs. And if we have rooms available, we would always offer them to our tenants that are going into work. And one of the reasons why we believe that this should happen is, you have lots of landlords out there that won't take a tenant who's only just started working, or who has gone through the system, and as soon as they say that they're coming out of support, it rings alarm bells. And for us, it's just that, you know, some of them they've just felt unlucky. We've got a teacher with us, we've got an engineer, we've got somebody who helps people set up businesses. But then we've got the other scale where we've got tenants that are not educated. So it's about trying to offer a solution to our tenants, and then thinking, right, okay, I've come to the end of our support, where do I go next? And if we've got rooms available, or even if we've got a family home available, we will offer that to them.
And we make sure we do all of it like without judgment. I think, like, unfortunately, a lot of tenants in supported living can feel really looked down on by society, and, you know, whatever that means, talking to that individual, we address that person as that person there one-to-one, and come down to their level or come up to their level, whatever that may be, whatever's going to nurture their soul and their mind in that moment. We listen to them and just say, look, there's no judgment wherever you're at. If it's like a person who's like, you know, we've had a guy who's had a marriage breakdown, he had a fantastic job, COVID hit, and his life just completely changed, and he just said, I feel like a failure, I'm so ashamed. And it's like, you know, making sure that they know that they're not a failure, and that they know that there's a new opportunity for them, it's a new chapter, and just helping them and holding their hand through that journey. Yeah,
I've just seen a message as well saying, what's the youngest tenant age that we take 18, but we actually don't have any 18-year-olds. A lot of our tenants are probably from 35 plus.
And that's naturally happened, hasn't it?
It has naturally happened. They've gone through all sorts. We deal with a lot of mental health and men that have gone through abuse, and that's not just physical abuse, it's coercive control, it's financial abuse, where they've been, you know, they're expected to deliver this certain level of lifestyle, and, you know, they come
lots of seeing their children.
Yeah.
That's a very regular thing that we've dealt with, that men's life have broke down because, unfortunately, their partners have stopped them seeing their children, and it's literally devastating. I mean, I personally think that there should be a law around it. That's just on another subject, but I really do believe there should be a law around it, because to see the devastating effect that a woman can have such you know, that capacity of control, and them not seeing their children. We have seen men literally, you know, at a level that's devastating, but thankfully that we've been able to build their life back up. And that's something that we're really passionate about. Men, yes, women are abused too, and like, you know, this, we've both got personal stories, you know, regarding that. But
Love hearing two attractive ladies come on, go, we're passionate about men.
yeah, man, I am passionate about it.
That's made my evening, that has, girls.
We should have had that conversation before we come in here. God. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, that's it. Like, we you know, we just want to help. We love helping men. We love helping everyone, but we have seen like a really, like, you know, specialized need for men that are just needed to be supported, and that's what we're doing. Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
That's it. Yeah. Hope it's all made sense. You've enjoyed it.